Right, the new season is nearly upon us. We start off with a Monday night kickoff at Fulham before a very cool second round Carabao Cup fixture against Luton. And here to talk all things Chelsea 26-27 is the second big dog of the channel. It's Louis Benavente. How you doing, bro?
Not bad, mate. How are you?
Very, very good.
Thank you for having
We just had a confession from you. Mm-hmm. You're into your girl bands.
Yeah.
You're into your female sort of pop music, and you just told me that Natasha Bedingfield is one of your favourites.
Oh, I love Natasha Bedingfield.
Yeah.
Natasha Bedingfield's it. I like Girls Aloud. I won't lie. Mm-hmm. Like round.
Favourite member?
Oh, I don't know actually. I never really knew their names. I just kind of just like the stuff.
I
Cheeky
would-
Girls though.
Cheeky Girls are good.
On Richard and Judy. I remember that one. I was about
Yeah.
6. That was.
You know who tops them all for me, and I'm not genuinely like ask any of my friends. I'm a die-hard fan of Pink.
Pink's a great shout.
Pink, yeah.
I remember being in Australia when So What came out. And it was on the radio on repeat.
What's the one I love? I like Just Like a Pill and all that, but there's a Pink tune.
I'm coming out.
Yeah, David Brent.
Shimon.
Who would you have if you could have one person to come and sing at Stamford Bridge? Obviously, Tottenham's biggest sort of achievement in the last 20 years is having Beyonce have a concert there. Who would you have?
Oh, if we're singing, you want football classics. You want Nessun Dorma. Like bring back Luciano Pavarotti, who my nonna when he died was adamant he wasn't dead. Like a bit like Michael Jackson, people say he isn't dead. Or Andrea Bocelli, mate. I'd have that.
I love
Bit of Nessun Dorma.
Andrea Bocelli. Is that listening? He's on the remix of Ed Sheeran, isn't
Yeah.
he? he's much more famous
I was
than
going to
that.
say,
He's
look
got-
at that. But if we were to pick any band, I'd love to see at Stamford Bridge. Be Blur.
Yeah?
Because of Damon Albarn's Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
Do like a festival day. Blur, Madness, and pick like one other.
Madness would be a great show. I went to see. It weren't a tribute. No, it was actually Madness, I believe, at Epsom Downs once.
Yeah, they did it last year, I think.
Yeah. This was years ago. This song going back 10 years or something.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
do a Butlins Weekender.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
amazing. I've
But
heard.
Butlins is supposed to be the bollocks.
I've never done Butlins, but it's on my list of like lads weekend away. We'd
Yeah.
go Butlins.
Make sure I'm invited. Yeah.
I'll let you know.
How are you feeling ahead of tomorrow, the return to Stamford Bridge? Xabi Alonso's first opportunity to lead out a Chelsea side at Stamford Bridge. We're playing Real Sociedad.
You're there,
I'm
Sociedad.
going. I'm looking forward to that one. How are you feeling ahead of it? Are you going?
I am not going.
Why not?
Plans.
Plans, eh? Plans.
No, I'm not going tomorrow. But for me, so for me, it's pre-season. Like I've not done really. We've done a little bit of pre-season, taught me and Dan, but it's kind of been very much a case we've gone, well, we'll just kind of go through the motions. We'll look at the transfer news, and all it is for pre-season is you're getting your fitness up.
Yeah.
You're seeing who's maybe getting there, who's gonna be better, how people fit.
Not if you're called Spurs, you're trying to break people's fucking legs in pre-season.
Yeah.
By the looks of that game.
Yeah,
Conor Gallagher, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, that was wild.
Didn't
to say
it?
the least. It was like
Sticking it on someone in the first 5 minutes.
It was like when I looked at Kevin Danso's been sent off. I was out and about doing bits and bobs, kind of have that highlight on my phone. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's he
Stay with the
done there?
highlights.
Like-
Don't talk about the scoreline.
yeah, we don't. It's pre-season, isn't it? It's like who cares? But in fairness, right? An Arsenal fan said it to me yesterday. They lost to Spurs in pre-season last year, won the league. It's a sign, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
100%. To be fair, I used to look into pre-season quite a lot. Not so much from a Chelsea perspective because I've seen, pre-season under Jose Mourinho, we weren't great. I remember we played against Celtic, I believe it was. I think Drogba scored a header in that pre-season. But the main thing I'll always remember it for is the goals were rollout goals. So, like, as in the goal posts, as in the goals. Like at high school or whatever, you'd help two of you would roll out the goal. It was like that, and Chelsea were playing on it, and I was thinking, God, the standard is bad. And it hasn't improved that much. No, I'm joking. No, it's been all right. MLS, Miles Lewis-Skelly, he's been rumoured to come to Chelsea. Do you fancy him?
I was thinking about this the other day. Like, he's a good player, but I don't think it's what we need.
Yeah, good but not relevant.
Yeah, pretty much. But
Yeah.
sometimes, like, there are signs where I just want to make that be funny or be good. Him was a bit like, meh. Like, but my favourite fact about him, and it's going to be a pub quiz question in 10 years' time, he's the only player to ever get a yellow card in the Premier League before making his debut.
Oh, what? He's got one where it's kicked off on the bench or something
Kicked
like
off the
that?
bench. He noticed when he ran round to Raya
Yeah.
and whispered in his ear about something, and he got a booking.
That is a good fact.
And I'm like,
I'm going to use
it's
that.
so
I'm going to use it. I'm going to plagiarise it. I'm going to say it's my own. I'm going to use that time in, time out now.
You can have it.
It's on camera now. We got the receipts, so you can claim it back. Do you know what though? You know when you talk about those signings that weren't really necessary, if you can stretch your mind back, do you know when we signed Cole Palmer, it was kind of like that. Like, it was kind of like, oh, this has come out the blue.
Yeah.
Opportunity. Saw him in the Super Cup and the Community Shield. He looked quite good, but, you know, don't really know all that much about him. I think it was was it the tournament where they won it? Was it Lee Carsley in the final, 4-1 or something? I think it was the under-21s or under-18s England tournament. I'd seen him in that, and he had looked decent. I think he missed a penalty in that final, but he hadn't played much for Man City. It come about, and I was like, this is interesting. But I think that from memory, like, this is going to sound like an awful take, but remember, we're dealing with what we have and know in the moment. We had just signed Carney Chukwuemeka, and I kind of thought that he was ahead of Cole Palmer, like in how things were going to go.
I think a lot of people felt the same.
Yeah,
It's like it's not a slight on Cole Palmer,
No.
obviously after what we've seen now. But it's like, you know, at the time, Carney Chukwuemeka was looking good, and the thing is, every time he played for Chelsea, he did look good.
Yep.
But it's just like his injuries just have absolutely ruined him, and it's actually a bit gutting to see what's happened to him. To be honest.
yeah, I thought he was going to be a bit of a powerhouse, to be honest. I mean, especially, do you remember his goal against West Ham, and then he got injured in that game?
Yeah, it was like a slide, wasn't it? Like he was kicking and he was sliding away, and he got injured. I think he got injured in that goal.
Maybe, yeah. That was the Caicedo masterclass debut, actually, against West Ham. Yeah. He's come a long way, and
It really has.
he has come a long way, Caicedo. I mean, he was class literally straight away after that game.
Yeah.
There's this like lazy observation that goes around Caicedo where they go, awful start though, and it's like, awful first match, mate. I was there. He's been fucking mustard the whole time.
He is the best defence midfielder in the league, I think.
Do you think he's going to have a big step up this season? You're scratching your head there. Who are you thinking of? Because Rodri's gone now. If you'd even call him that.
I said it. I'm like,
Yeah.
let me just make sure. I mean, you look at, Declan Rice.
Declan Rice.
But he's not really a defence midfielder, is he? He's not. He doesn't sit.
Yeah, but I don't even know if he's better than Caicedo. I know people shake their head at me when I say that. I don't even know if he's better.
Joey.
He's very good.
He's. I've said this several times. I think he's the best midfielder in the world.
Yeah, alongside Reggie Watson. Similar players, similar styles.
I still love that. By the way, Ben Watson is Reggie Watson's dad. I didn't know that.
Do you remember what was it? FA Cup final
FA
for
Cup
Wigan.
final 2013
Yeah.
for Wigan against Man City. The black kit with like the yellow neon.
Did you ever go Wigan?
I never went to Wigan.
Yeah.
Wigan, it's on my list. I wanted to do, because this year my plan was, I did like a pie review a few years ago, and I wanted to do that for all the away games this season,
Nice.
and actually decide who has the best pie in the Premier League, and then I was going to expand it to the 92.
Do you want to invite me for a pie somewhere?
Well, I'd love to, but the problem is Chelsea have absolutely fucked us with the tickets, so thanks guys, really appreciate that.
Yeah, I bought my tickets through the website for once. First time I've ever done it.
Yeah,
I think so many people were going, why are you asking for tickets? They're on the website. And I'm like, I don't really do all that. Can someone just get me one? I even asked you for one, didn't I?
and I was like, look, I think I went on the website, and I think they're all, well, it said it was sold out, but it wasn't actually sold out, so I don't know.
Yeah, they put a load of tickets on later. Do you know what? I think maybe was there a thing where season ticket holders had the option, and then basically so many of them were like, I'm not going to that then the sort of peasants like myself then end up getting the opportunity.
I was one of those season ticket holders.
You were, yeah.
is what it
I wanted one in the Matthew Harding lower. I've ended up in the Matthew Harding upper. The thing is, I'm going with my old man. He prefers to have a seat anyway,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it probably works out for the best, and it's a better view, isn't it? I just like the atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, I think the view from the upper is good. I was sat in the upper. I think it's one of the only times I sat there because I gave my season ticket to a mate, and I've got a spare for Cole Palmer's free kick against Brighton.
Lovely,
It was, so I had this perfect view of it.
perfect
just
view.
curling. It was beautiful.
I was using a season ticket in the upper a lot in the Tommy Tuchel season where we got to two FA Cup finals. That'd be a bit of magic. No, we got to two domestic cup finals. That season, I remember we had Jorginho on penalty duty. And I'm sorry because he's a fellow Italian, but nothing.
He's Brazilian, mate.
Yeah.
Not having that.
Yeah, nothing frustrated me more than that.
Yeah, I mean, Jorginho's a good like 3 months. And he was just aside from that. I don't know. Well, but we could be seeing other people doing that sort of role for other clubs at some point.
We very much could. We'll speak about that later on in the episode. I touched on Cole Palmer earlier, right? Cole Palmer, again, you're not someone that reads massively into pre-season. I think I'm definitely someone that reads more into it than yourself, especially when it comes to sort of individual performances. But at the same time, I understand that getting into the Premier League season, getting into the real season is a different kettle of fish. That being said, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't notice a drop-off from Cole Palmer last season. Season before. Are we misreading data and maybe being a little bit unfair to judge him on that season where he was absolutely prolific when he came in and definitely the next season? Or do you think that Cole Palmer needs to do something to really step up this season?
I think Cole Palmer needs to step up a little bit, definitely. I think it's working in his favour, the fact that he's not gone to the World Cup. He'll have actually had some rest, but he'll also have a fire in his belly. And I think for me, I hear that and I'm like, yeah, like that's something which I can get behind. I think the fact that he'll be able to just kind of showcase what he can do best, I think, is something which we took for granted in that first season. I also think Maresca, I don't think he used him to his best ability.
No.
And I think it was so rigid. It was very much like you kind of want players like Cole Palmer to thrive in chaos.
Yep.
And I think Pochettino got the best out of that in that, as much as it was very basketball-y backwards and forwards, I think if you look at that first 3 months of Maresca, which was kind of the follow-on from that Pochettino season, that was the best football Chelsea played in a very long time. Yes, we conceded a lot of goals, but for me, it was the most entertaining. And I look at that and I go, well, Cole Palmer is a sort of player who you kind of have him floating in off the right-hand side, or he's kind of just doing what he wants. He's kind of in those areas, and I think realistically, that's where we're going to see the best from him. I think the one thing from pre-season I did think, and I have seen, I was very impressed with how we went to basically back to front in terms of on the attack. There was a good transition. And it's the one thing which, if you look at this Chelsea squad for the past 2 or 3 years, where we've been doing this thing where it's, Maresca was talking about, okay, so we need to set up, we need to set the play, we need to wait for the position, team to get back in position, and they'll come and press us, and then we'll pounce on them.
I hate that.
Well, it's like,
Absolutely
it was when Sanchez was just holding on to it. It's like, and you had Neto, or as much as maybe we didn't like him, or it might have been Gusto, or it might have been Cole Palmer. They were already on their bike. They were gone. And so if you're going to do that, you kind of want to maximise that and use those players and get into that final third. And stuff like, as much as Liam Delap isn't, I think, he hasn't been good enough. You look at how he played his best football at Ipswich. It was back to front, straight up the pitch, exposing the spaces, using his physicality, getting in behind.
Yeah.
But then what we're asking them to do now is go, okay, well, we're going to wait for everyone to set up, we're going to tap it about, we're going to wait, we're going to do this, and it didn't work. What I've seen in pre-season is Chelsea have been far more aggressive on the front foot, and that is something I'm very impressed by, and as I hope to see a lot more of, and I think the likes of Morgan Rogers, Cole Palmer, João Pedro, being able to expose those spaces, hit in transition, which is what Chelsea have always been good at, I think is something which we can really maximise and these players get the best out of.
I think having those players in front of him, we might look at it a little bit and think, well, hold on, we've levelled up massively since then, which would be right to. But say, for example, that Pochettino season you talk about, Nicholas Jackson, constant threat up front. Raheem Sterling having one of the best seasons he had, definitely in a Chelsea shirt.
Not hard for him.
Hey.
Not hard for him, that.
Yeah, no. But
Low bar!
But he did start that season on fire, to be fair. I remember him putting in a really good performance away at Burnley. That was a game that Cole Palmer scored in again. I think it was 4-1 in the end. And he was good, man. Like, in that season, he was one of the players that more often than not you could hang your hat on. He was also one of the players more often than not, if he went for on goal and he had a man supporting him, he wouldn't pass it. So there was a lot of frustration in there. But the point I'm trying to make is the actual threat around Cole Palmer was probably, I don't want to say higher in terms of personnel and ability, but in terms of what they were delivering at that time, it definitely was. Now, I look at this season and I go, Morgan Rogers, listen, when you talk about price point, maybe, but I don't see how it can go wrong. You spoke about Cole Palmer being annoyed there that he got left out of the World Cup squad, where there's another man in our starting lineup that also has the bit between his teeth that's fucking fuming that he got left out of that World Cup squad in João Pedro.
Yep.
And if pre-season is anything to go on, maybe when it comes to the positives, I do want to take on pre-season and go, yeah, it's something to build off. It's a catalyst there. And that's something that I want to look at. The fact that João Pedro's been in great form. Yeah. Your likes of Esteval, we don't know yet, but you could potentially be looking at the likes of Kenda. One of these guys could step up and have a big season this year. And I think that all of those threats, those runners in behind, everyone there, Palestra even, it's going to serve really well. I can't wait for Palestra. It's going to serve really well for Cole Palmer if he can rediscover that form. Cole Palmer, on an off day, is still better and still good enough to get into pretty much most Premier League sides, still better than a lot of the options that are out there.
Yep.
However, if we can get him back to 80%, 70% of the levels that he performed at under Pochettino, maybe in the start, under Enzo Maresca, then I think we've genuinely got something scary on our hands. So I really want to just hope, basically, that can happen this season.
Yeah.
I think it definitely can. I think with the class around him, we're going to see all of these lots should be really incentivized by the signings we've made, by the intensity that we're now going to have in terms of competing for positions. So I think that Cole Palmer's going to benefit from that. Palestra, we just touched on there. What are you thinking about Palestra?
I love Palestra so much.
He's the man.
He is looking good. And I think the thing for me is he's going to play as a wing back. He can't play as, I don't think he's a full back. As much as he is decent defensively, you can see him going forward. He is just so much better.
Yeah.
Like I look at him and I'm like, oh my God, we'll have some of that. I think I look at Gusto and I look at him and I go, worlds apart.
Yeah.
Absolute worlds apart. If Gusto's a £75 million right back going to Chelsea, I dread to think how much Palestra is going to be in a few years' time.
I get a lot of stick for this. Like, at the end of the day, I've got a simplistic way of looking at stuff sometimes. And again, I really do want the players that are going to excite me. Like, I don't mind Gusto losing the ball, for example, if he's trying to do something creative. If I know that when he gets there, he ain't going to think twice about it, he's going to whip the ball in. Some people will say, oh, well, that was an instruction thing. Fair enough. But I've seen him under multiple managers for both club and country. Well, for club, and I've seen him under another manager for country. And I haven't seen that in his game that much recently.
It's the attitude for me.
Yeah.
Gusto.
Yeah.
It stinks. It's him and Fofana, the two of them, I think probably the worst culprits for it in this team.
Yeah.
I think Fofana, at the FA Cup final where he was trying to field everyone off, I'm never going to forget that because that is poor as someone supposed to be a senior player in this team. Then Malo Gusto, consistently, it's his demeanour on the pitch. Like when he does try something, he doesn't really make an effort to win it back. That first season when he replaced Reece in the team because he was injured the old time, there was fight, there was hunger, there was something about it.
There was good delivery in terms of actual his crossing ability.
Yeah.
You saw that good delivery there.
Yeah.
Saw him play over at left back once or twice, looked decent. Since then, I think that his confidence in, okay, I'm a player that's ready for the Premier League has definitely grown, and I think it's probably gone above what it should be, to be fair.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think he thinks he's better than he is. I don't think he's all that. I look at him as a right back, and I'm like, when we've said 75 million quid, I'm like, oh, really?
that wouldn't be the price though. If we got an offer, what did we sign him for? 35, I believe.
He's not. I don't think he's worth much more than that.
Yeah, but if we got an offer 50 mil, we'd be moving him on 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Apparently, Spurs and Liverpool, I've heard, are interested in him. Now, the funny thing with that is, right, when there was rumours of Trent leaving Liverpool, when it first sort of started off and he ended up staying, but he was out for about half a season. So before the season, he got the move, and Gusto had just come off the back of a really good season. No one had spoken about it, and you know when it just goes there in your head, and I thought, they're going to come in for Gusto. They will come in for Gusto because he kind of can do a bit of that role, nowhere near the delivery or anything like that Trent has, but he can do a little bit of that role with a bit more defensive ability. Now, the jury's out. Do I rule out the possibility that Malo Gusto goes somewhere else and then ends up being a really good player for them? I don't rule it out. However, I'm not tired. Listen, I love all the feedback I get, but there's a part of me that wants to go, mate, I get so many people saying to me, the Gusto hate's forced. It's not hate, and if it was, it's not forced, yeah? I pay my money, I sit in the stands, I watch him play. Am I saying he's rubbish? No. Am I in my right to say I'm 10 times more excited about Palestra? Yes, of course I am. I'm not sat there and going, I'm way more excited about Palestra than I'm about Reece James. That would be criminal to be saying that. That would be wild. I'm not saying that. I'm honestly not saying that. I'm saying I'm more excited to see him there than Gusto. And with Reece James's injury record, with a potential move in position, which we'll speak about in a second, there's a lot there to be excited about with Palestra. Do you think Palestra is going to play more often than not?
I think he'll be the starting right back.
Yeah.
I'm saying that purely as a safety net.
Yep.
It's like Reece could have an unbelievable season, be fully fit. he ain't got the hamstrings for wing back anymore.
Mm.
So it's kind of case if we're doing certain things in certain ways again, we'll talk about that a bit later. But I just think as a right back, and in terms of how Alonso wants to play, I think realistically he's going to be the one who is going to be the one bombing forward. I mean, one of my favourite bits of preseason was that link up between him and Esteval.
Him and Esteval, yeah, that's nice.
The little pull down by Esteval and then little flip flat, little move. Oh, it was that for me, liquid football.
What about Esteval? Because Esteval was obviously featured in pre-season. There was some talk of the B team players aren't happy. Firstly, I think that's a load of bollocks. Secondly, the B team players should be happy because they're getting minutes. And thirdly, I honestly, mate, listen, who cares if Tosin's not happy?
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
The fact Benfica want him, I'm like, yeah, have him.
Have him.
I'm like, we'll stick him on a
Got a few more you can have if you want.
stick him on a Jet2 flight. Nothing beats a trip to Benfica, and you can have him for free. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
are they getting him for free? Gotta be,
I
innit?
hope so.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'll drive him. I don't even have my license.
It's funny because the man that's gone out the door now is Benoit Badiashile, and he's had some. Listen, you're picking between not great. Let's not say the actual phrase. You're picking between not great and not great. But out of Tosin and Badiashile, I'd be picking Badiashile every day of the week to start. I mean, I wouldn't like either.
Jesus Christ.
I'll tell you who's had a little bit of a level up, Disasi, over the last year or so. Not a level up on what had come to us. I mean, when Disasi came in, even him and Badiashile, coming in from Monaco, separate windows, I believe. Badiashile, especially, when he first came in and he had Thiago Silva next to him in that first sort of 6 months, I saw a player. I thought, yeah, nice. And I've always said that about both of these men, just not with each other. If they've got an experienced player next to them to hold their hand, more often than not, they won't stick out like a sore thumb. Sounds like a real backhanded compliment. You could say more often than not, they're good. I'm not going to go that far. More often than not, they won't stick out like a sore thumb.
More often, I'm not going to say that. Good. I'll stay away from that.
But listen, I feel like Tosin, Badiashile, Disasi, all need to be ushered out the door now. I think that we need to bring that squad size down. The interesting one, we were about to speak about Esteval, and we will in a sec, but the interesting one, while we're speaking about that defence, is Fofana. Fofana says that he's been encouraged. I mean, if the quotes are to be believed by him, he's sort of... If you're fine with being criticised, you know what the thing you should do is? Don't speak about it. But Fofana, off his own back, has kind of brought up being criticised by the fan base. He's a big watcher of the channel. I think rightly so, to be honest. As you mentioned there, I think that his attitude has been fucking poor a lot of the time. He was one of the players that got sent off last season, so all of them are going to have a bit of a magnifying glass on them. But if Fofana stays, and this is interesting because we were speaking about this off camera, and we would play a three at the back, we're going to do some lineups later on in the video. If Fofana stays, does he have a spot in that three at the back?
No, doesn't start.
No.
Not for me. I've got my lineup in my head, and he's fifth choice for me.
Well, that then is perfect because it'd be the same for me, and it then moves us on to the potential of Joshua Champong.
Yes.
Apparently, Coventry are in for him. You quite like the move. Listen, I like anything that benefits Frank Lampard. If we can do Frank Lampard a favour, if we can have a player that is going to learn, definitely going to grow in their ability and their experience by being with him and give Ipswich a better chance of staying up, I am all for it. Coventry. Give Coventry a better chance of staying up. I don't know, I had Ipswich on my mind. Gary O'Neill. Have Coventry a better chance of staying up, then I am all for it. However, at the same time as saying that, I'm all for Joshua Champong making his way into the starting lineup this season. I think that we're only, we look at those defenders, right? Say we do have a three there. Levi Colwell, Hatto, and obviously Lacroix coming in. They're the three that I think most people would say, well, you're one injury away from then starting Fofana. So would you rather start Joshua Champong, knowing that he's going to be one for the future, knowing that, in my opinion, he's going to be one of the best English centre-backs in years to come, or do you continue to give the minutes to Fofana, who some could argue is more ready in the here and now, but I don't think we're ever going to see the player that we believed we were getting when we spent that money.
No. I think the problem with Josh is he's been made so many promises over the past 2 years that none have been fulfilled. He's going to lose his rag a little bit. And if I'm Chelsea, I'm going, right, if we really believe in this player, if we see him as an untouchable, let's give him the opportunity to really develop and play some regular minutes. You get him some regular minutes, and we will see that player. I think it's just like a consistent run of games away from clicking and going, oh, right, okay. Bearing in mind, we've still got Mamadou Sarr as well. We've got, obviously, Wesley Fofana. Anselmino. Like, I look at it, I go, look, like, Anselmino's probably going to go on loan.
Yep.
Mamadou Sarr, I mean, I feel sorry for him. Last year he should have played more minutes, but, didn't work out.
Did well in the African Cup of Nations.
He
was
really
playing
well.
some good diagonal balls from defence.
Well,
I was quite excited about him, but then he come and...
Well, this is it. So it's kind of catching, well, you've got him as an option on that left-hand side. And I go, okay, well, if it was me, I'd loan out Josh just so he has those regular minutes. Because then you can see that player develop. If he's just on the training ground doing nothing, I mean, it's like, oh, you might play this week. We might do this time. And bearing in mind, we don't have Europe this year. We're going to be playing max, probably, 50 games? Max? And I think if you look at it, it's going, well, it's a game a week, really.
Yep.
Like, fitness shouldn't be an issue. And if it is an issue with certain players, they're the ones you usher out the door because they're the ones that clearly can't be relied on. So, I mean, for me, I'd very much be looking at getting in that loan move just so that he can play that football, develop, become a far better player. And then next year when he comes back, he'll probably be a shoo-in in the team.
Yeah. Without speaking things into existence, I could very much see a scenario, though, where we do have injuries across that back line. And although we've got the options that you just said about there, obviously Reece James, we'll speak about him in a second, where he's going to play, but he could potentially be one that goes into the back line in a right-hand side of three centre-backs. At the same time of saying that, I could see a possibility where we end up shoehorning and ushering players in there, and I'm just looking at Josh on loan, whether it was at Coventry, whether it's at Crystal Palace, somewhere like that, and I'm looking at him and thinking, oh, I'd love you.
Can I be honest? I wouldn't have got rid of Trev. Because Trevor's that player. Trevor's that, do you know what?
Mr. Reliable.
Stick him in, he's fine.
Yep.
You want those sort of players about. But he's gone now.
I would be gutted for Trev, and only for Trev. I wouldn't be gutted at all. But if we won something this season, serious title push, something like that, nice domestic cup, I'd be gutted for Trev that he's stuck around in so many hard times.
Yeah.
Gone out on loan, come
treated
back.
So poorly as well.
Treated awfully. I'll agree with that. Treated awfully. I think that the one silver lining there is he knows that the fan base love him. He knows that he'll be welcome and he'll be a standing ovation anytime he comes back to Chelsea. And he's gone to Como, which is a team that we'll speak about in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, look, Cesc Fabregas, I mean, he doesn't know anything he's talking about, does he? I mean, it's not like everyone wanted him. So, he's got great talent ID. He knows exactly what he's doing. Sign Trevor Chalobah, lads, and you don't like him. What are you going to say about that?
I honestly think that when a defender especially, a lot of players, but when a defender especially makes the move from the Premier League to Serie A, I couldn't really tell you why it is, but it does seem to work a lot of the time.
I can tell you why that is. As the man with the genetic code to do so.
Yep.
So, because it's talent football's just so much slower. It's more tactical. The quality is not as good. It's very much a case of those sort of players that have more time on the ball. Like John Stones, he will look like Franco Baresi.
100%.
R.I.P. by the way. But he is literally going to be knocking it about for fun, stepping into midfield, doing whatever. He will look godly.
Yep.
And I think Jed Spencer did really well over there as well. But Trev, I think in that team, I don't know if he's going to start because they've got some really good players in that back line. But I do look at him and I go, do you know what? Like you'll be fine there. He's the thing about Trev is he's not a sexy footballer. He's a 6 or 7 out of 10 defender. Some you have in your squad. If there's injuries and things aren't quite working out, has the DNA of the club. Arm around the shoulder when you come in the dressing room as a new guy. Oh, this is Chelsea. Come on, introduce the boys, introduce the kit man. Da, 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 da. He's that sort of character.
Yeah.
And I think, mate, in Como, I tell you what, I'm not going to lie, there's Real Madrid, there's Barcelona, right? If I wasn't playing regularly and someone said, Louis, would you like to come live on Lake Como and, have a Negroni with George Clooney a couple of times a week? I'm going, fuck yeah, I do.
Is that where he lives?
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
It's nice. So I know his house.
My Uncle Terry was, I think what did he do? He lied about his age or something to get in the army. And he never used to talk about it, but he used to say Como. Unreal. That was one of the places he went to. So, yeah,
Como's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
What's the there's a link between Como and maybe that's his surname. The guy that sings Magic Moments. I'm sure it's called Perry Como. That's what I'm very thinking.
He's probably stage name, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah. Obviously, Trevor Chalobah gone. One man that we need to talk about is Reece James. He hasn't featured in pre-season yet. Hopefully tomorrow I get a chance to see him live at Stamford Bridge. We've seen him in training already. Where does he land in terms of positions on the pitch? We don't yet know what formation we're going to play with. We'll speak about that in a second. We've definitely got an idea of what we want to play, I think. I'm reading between the lines there and hoping that you're on the same page as me. But where does Reece James play?
Right centre back.
Yep.
Defensive midfield. Or it's for right back. I think, but I think he is going to naturally be the one that tucks in.
Yep.
If he's starting, he'll come in step 3. Pep Javara will be the one that goes forward. He'll provide the width. Morgan Rogers will come inside. He'll play as a 2 with João Pedro. Kyle Palmer kind of float behind, do whatever he wants to do, and then you'll have the midfield to kind of do their thing.
And if he plays next to Caicedo in midfield, in the eventuality that Enzo Fernandez leaves, we're looking at our watches now. It's nearly 2:00. We've got 3 hours until the deadline for a serious offer to come in, not 103 million. If Reece James steps up into midfield and he's playing there, are we looking at it in terms of Caicedo is going to be winning tackles, challenging for duels, and Reece James is actually going to be the man that's really tasked with progressing the ball, picking out some passes, probably up in the tempo at times, which isn't something that I massively think of Reece James's game as having. But one thing that I do know is we've got a manager in Xabi Alonso who's also got a great passing range, like Reece James, who I'd love to be able to just come off the bench.
Yes, give him a squad number.
Give him a squad number and get in there. Do you think that he'll be looking at Reece James and he'll have an indication in his head of where Reece is going to play under him?
Yeah, I mean, he'll have thought about that now. I think obviously Reece has only just come back. But he'll probably sat down with the medical staff and gone, right, what can we do? How does it fit? Obviously, I mean, if you look at Jeremy Frimpong at Leverkusen, who was, by the way, another injury-prone player.
Yep.
I mean, he managed the full season. We could be pleasantly surprised and see Reece James under Tuchel, Juventus, right wing back, bombing it, being absolutely unbelievable. But realistically, it's going to be a case of, I think that he's going to be... sitting in that midfield, I think he can dictate that tempo.
Yep.
I do. I think you look at the way he pings a pass, the way he moves the ball, how important he is. Like even in the England games, he'd come inside, collect it, knock it about. Like he can do that.
Yeah.
It's not who we know Reece James as, but he can find a pass. And also Levi Colwill in that team as well.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think getting the ball forward will be too much of a problem for Chelsea.
No. I think that it's really, really interesting as to what Reece James actually does and what role he plays in this upcoming season, because Reece James being on the pitch, both from a playing aspect, but also mentality, having your captain there, I think that that's going to be massive for us. I think that unlike seasons gone by, we're not wholly dependent on him and the team's not going to massively drop off because we've evolved to learn that you've got a plan for life without him, which is something that, as much as I love him, even under Thomas Tuchel, we didn't really fare that well with. Now we're in a different position, but it is the spice that makes the dish, isn't it, Reece James?
It is the paprika.
What have you been eating recently? What's your favourite dish of choice?
So I did the other night for the first time, and I think it's now become a monthly occurrence in the Beneventi household. We did kebab night.
Lovely.
So I went to the butcher's and I bought loads of shish kebabs, did a homemade chili sauce, homemade garlic sauce. I got chopped everything up, and I, became boss man for the night.
Nice. Chicken shish, lamb shish?
Chicken shish, lamb shish,
chili sauce,
garlic sauce, chili sauce, salty salad. My friend, you want to come? Joy!
I'll come. You don't need to embarrass me twice. Do you know what? I've been on the diet. I've been trying to lose weight, and I've been doing... the old El Paso barbecue mix for the fajitas?
Yeah.
I just marinate chicken more or less every night in a bit of that, switch between that and a bit of curry powder, and I'm just having that with peppers and rice. Very, very boring all the time.
It's good though. Like, that's when I was on my cut, I'd literally just do almost like a chicken stew.
Yeah.
Just do chicken, any veggies that are going out of date, chop tomatoes, get the Mexican rice from Uncle
that's
Ben's.
the one. You got to go with the basmati. That's the best one to lose weight on, I think.
Yeah, but it tastes like shit.
It does, but if you get a lemon and you squeeze the lemon over the top of it. One of the things with like boxing and training, you just learn to love bland food with the tiniest little hint of something that brings it to life. So you got it. I know. As an Italian, that's not saying it tickles your
makes
fancy.
me sad.
I know.
Well, in fairness, Italian food is really simple. It's like salt, pepper, garlic.
Yeah.
That's it. It's all
But a lot of pasta.
ingredients. Yeah, that is the one thing. When I was training a few years ago, that was like no pasta. Was really hard.
I went to Galoo, shout out Galoo, Mediterranean in Banstead. Went there the other night and I had an octopus. Well, I tried my friends basically. Octopus linguine. Unreal.
Do you know, I haven't had for ages, and I've been craving it. We had a shoot, so I do with these guys called Aperitivo de Gestivo. They do like loads of
Yeah,
restaurants.
the clobber, aren't they?
They're the club.
Yeah, nice.
So they
Got
do
some good
they
little
do-
items on
mate,
there.
yeah, check them out, guys.
Yeah.
They go into like loads of restaurants. So we went into like the Ned. We've been to like really really cool places like Michelin star restaurants. French House is one we go to a lot. But one we did it on a shoot, and this girl came in. She does like a lot of these natural wines. I think she's like the best sommelier in Europe or something. She won, and she basically going through it, and she was talking about spaghetti vongole, and I'm like, I've been craving it for like 4 or 5 weeks, but I'm like, I can't. There's nowhere in Tunbridge Wells where they have like a really good vongole. I'm like, right, I'm gonna definitely go there, but I'm just craving like that on the beach, Negroni, can hear the sea, got the sand in between your toes, and just hear everything go. Oh,
You're putting me in the place now.
Oh mate, I'm like, I'm booking my holiday now.
Yeah,
So
I just booked one yesterday.
Oh,
I can't
yeah?
wait. Yeah, I'm going to go Spain last week of September.
España, sí.
Español, yeah.
Paella,
I
sí,
like to go back to the
pasta,
same
paella.
places I always go. Just been to Palma Nova. You know Palma Nova?
I do.
Absolutely lovely.
It did look nice.
Yeah, yeah,
very
very nice. Going back there. You're a wine man?
I am.
Oh yeah.
I'm a wine man and
I'm not big on the wine.
I wasn't, but I think so. Again, doing this stuff, I've learned lots of different things, and there's like certain things. Like if you just get, I'm just gonna have a chicken wine or like the one with a foot on it. It's like, yeah, it's not great. There are some which I've tried. I tried. This guy opened up a 300-pound bottle of wine randomly at a shoot.
Nice.
And I'll just
Flexing.
try this, and he's like, so I'll have this. Like this, is the legs. This is how this works. This is how this works. And then you taste it the first time. You come back to it like 20 minutes later for another glass. It tasted completely different.
Never glug a good wine.
Oh,
That's what Barry from Extra says. You're glugging it, apparently. That's what the paper said.
Exactly. You never glug. You sip
Yeah.
slowly.
Always sip a good wine.
You tip it, so like, and then you sip it back, and then you know when the like this little streams come down. That's the legs.
Yeah.
And the slower the legs are, the better the wine is. Apparently, is a rule of thumb.
I've been really craving a beer. I've not had a beer in God knows. I think around August time. I'll probably have a bit. I'll have a couple of beers maybe tomorrow up at Chelsea because you can't be going Chelsea and drinking anything but a lager. Really, it's just easier for a busy match, especially. But I got told by the doctor, don't drink beer. Drink alcohol, drink as much as you want, but don't drink beer because it's not very good for this thing I had, right? Which is pretty much gone now. But I wasn't drinking beer, and mate, I've just been a Peroni or an Amstel for some reason, or a
I'm not a
Heineken
big beer
even.
guy.
No.
No, I'm like,
What is your pint of choice?
I mean, I have a Jubal usually if it's there.
Yeah.
Cause I do like something a little bit fruitier. But the past few days, especially in this heat, cider. I like yesterday. I was on Talksport yesterday after 6 pints.
Really?
I had a shoot and
Nice.
they text me and
So
they're
it's
like,
done.
they were like, "Oh, can you come in?" I'm like, "Absolutely, it's
Yeah.
no problem." And then we got basically, I with the boxed in boys and stuff we do, I said, "Right, lads, I'm going to Talksport after because we'd all been at the pub after our shoot. Can people give me 5 words I need to slip into my Talksport stuff?"
Nice.
And one of the words was Leon Osman, so I had to compare Leon Osman to Jordan Henderson.
How did that come about?
They were talking about our older players, and I was like, something.
Leon Osman, the word.
was
Just
important.
one word.
He's
that.
like, that's what I said. It's
Yeah.
the count. I said, no, you got to fit in. I had to get in mortadella, styrofoam, claustrophobic, Leon Osman, and midnight. So
I mean, claustrophobic's pretty easy in a footballing sense.
Yeah.
I could see how you could get that in. The other one's hard.
styrofoam, compared Romeo Lavia to it.
Right. Yep.
So
Nice.
that was an easy one. Claustrophobic, talk about Nicholas Jackson getting in certain spaces.
Yep.
I compared Cole Palmer to bit of mortadella, bit of prosciutto. I like my cheese. I like my cheeses. I like my meats.
And how'd you get
classy
Leon
stuff.
Osman in there?
Jordan Henderson.
Nice.
I did a comparison,
Yeah.
which I know.
He's a
doesn't
big
work.
boxing fan, Leon Osman.
He
Good
is.
mates of Tony Bellew.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a massive boxer. Him because isn't it him, Carragher and Belly all box at the same gym, don't they?
Yeah. Someone else is in there. Yeah. No, Carragher, you just named him. Yeah. Rotunda, I believe it is in
Is it?
Liverpool. I
Oh,
think it's the
that's
Rotunda in Liverpool. Yeah. Let's just quickly touch on Esteval.
Mm-hmm.
He's had, again, you're not one that reads massively into pre-season, but from pre-season, little bit up and down. I mean, I've rated some of his performances in there. I've also thought he's been a little bit over-eager at times. Do you think there's any part, and by the way, I've seen him in training, Esteval in terms of the snippets I've seen, from a personality standpoint, that sort of confidence that you would only expect would be very, very hard for a teenager coming to Chelsea to have in that first season, he's definitely got it now. I can see that very much in terms of, like, he was celebrating a goal on the training pitch and he's ordering Levi Colwell to give him some love after he scored it. I'm buzzing to see what happens with Esteval this season and to see him really, really progress and show a lot of people the player that so many of us have known as there. At the same time as saying that, does he warrant a starting berth just yet?
Not in the first 11 for me, but that's purely because I'm being prudent and he's a spectacular player. He's 19.
Yep.
Give him some time. I get the whole, well, if he's good enough, he's old enough. That's like, no. Like, it's like, I feel you see so many players now. I mean, everyone's talking about that Madja lad after the game against PSG.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got our striker now. He's going to be amazing when Harry Kane retires. I'm like, he's 17, lads.
Yeah.
Like, we all just need to relax, let these players develop, let them do their thing. You know, we put a lot of pressure on Esteval last season after that Barcelona game, myself included. But then also, his hamstring would go, something would happen, the fitness wasn't quite there. So I'm very much looking at it going, okay, what if we can just, like, nurture him, develop him, keep him going over the next year, 2 years, you're going to have a player who's going to eventually be at that point when he turns 21. I think that's when you're like, right, you're ready now.
I think when you see him in those games, like Barcelona, Liverpool coming off the bench, scoring the winner in the end, I think that they're the moments that if you had a player that was coming in and popping up in moments of need, but, you know, maybe not consistent, you would always way rather those big moments be against the likes of a Barcelona, of a Liverpool, who were current Premier League champions at the time, than, let's say, oh, you know, he scored a goal against Leeds or something like that. That's what I want to see from a player like that, because it tells me that you don't fear the big stage. You're ready for those big moments. So let's bring you up to scratch in everything else. And that's something that is going to come with him just filling out in age, getting used to the league and stuff like that. Then we're going to have a serious threat on our hands. I believe that Esteval's the one player that maybe not as many people, maybe including myself at times, aren't putting into a starting 11 that has the most chance of always being there in that starting 11 come the end of the season.
No, yeah, and I think same goes for Quenda as well, by the way, because I'm excited by him, but he goes in that left wing back position. He looks exciting. He looks good. But it's like, okay, you've now got someone ahead of you in Pep Chavaria or other players where it's like, just give them a moment, let them find their feet.
Yep.
Everyone gets cracking, and then from there, that's when you go, cool, hands off, you're ready, take off the fucking stabilisers, let's go for it. And I think you're going to have that over the next couple of years. But that's the sort of system which we've wanted for the past few seasons in terms of transfers. Hence why you signed Jordan Henderson. Hence why you signed Danny Welbeck. Hence why you signed Pep Chavaria. Hence why you signed Maxis Lacroix. You know, we've changed our tack now.
Yeah.
And with that all being said, I think it's really important that with these more senior players coming in, they can put their arm around these younger lads. Like, right, let's get this right. We'll get this moving. And then when those lads eventually move on in the next couple of years, these lads will be ready to step up to the plate. And then the next people will be coming in and all that sort of stuff. It's like, it's just getting that whole movement in place now. And I think it's going to take time, but we're going to get there.
Let's finish off by talking about a man that I think a lot of Chelsea fans, including myself, probably thought would be leaving this summer. There's still a potential there. I know it could still happen, but I'm very excited by the presence of him, somewhat the change of role that we're now seeing, and the fact that I mentioned in a video the other day that this man needs to be willing to actually fight for his place rather than being one of the players, like we're seeing with a lot of players, names that we've spoken about already, that are kind of going, oh, well, if I'm not in the plans for the first team, then I'm not really interested. Listen, club legends haven't been in the plans for a first team starter when they first came to Stamford Bridge. Frank Lampard, for example, wasn't definitely guaranteed a first team place when he signed in 01-02 from West Ham, but very, very quickly plays his way in there. So I think that a lot of players need to take a leaf from this book, and the man I'm talking about is Nicholas Jackson. It now looks like Nicholas Jackson's going to stay. There's actually been quotes that have come out, or remarks that maybe I'm paraphrasing, that have been said in terms of the relationship with Xabi Alonso, saying he's very excited for and he's ready to fight for his spot in that team. I reckon there would have been a bit of indication given to him from Xabi Alonso saying, listen, I really like you, and I'm not just saying it in terms of squad player. If you do what I'm asking you to do in the moments that I select you, there's going to be opportunities for you going forward. Do you think that if we do keep Nicholas Jackson, do you think that we've made a really smart move here in not potentially cashing in on a player who could be really important for us?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nicholas Jackson, aside from Tammy Abraham and since Diego Costa, is the only player scored 10 plus league goals in consecutive seasons for Chelsea.
Mm.
2 players have done that since Costa
Only striker.
as a striker.
Yeah.
2.
Mm.
I think if you look at what he can do, if you look at how he linked up with Cole Palmer when he was here, if you look at, João Pedro now as the focal point, for me, you play Nicholas Jackson on that left-hand side of that 3. And I know how we're talking about Morgan Rogers kind of goes forward and partners with João Pedro and Cole Palmer comes in behind if you're looking out of shape and it's fluid and all that sort of stuff. Naturally, Nicholas Jackson's a very capable deputy to both João Pedro and to Morgan Rogers. And what you want to do is make Chelsea a stronger proposition so that they can go and challenge for league titles and have the depth in the team to do so. I think it is a great move. I get we could have got 60 million quid for him, potentially. But how would we invest that 60 million quid elsewhere? What are the players there that can do that role, that are available and good enough to fill those voids? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. But I look at him and I go, do you know what? Well done, mate. Sticking around, fighting for your place. You're keen to get going. The problem has evidently walked out the door and gone up to Manchester with his big shiny head. Now you can come back and sort of come in, make a difference with this team, hopefully. And you can get some important goals. If we're getting 20 goals out of João Pedro, 15 goals out of Cole Palmer, 10 goals out of Morgan Rogers, 10 goals out of Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah.
Like Chelsea, I think, could potentially be the highest scoring team in the league this season.
Yeah, 100%. If everyone plays their part that we feel could chip in to that extent, and people will look at that and go, oh, that's majorly ambitious. Yeah, maybe one of those players won't live up to what you're saying there, but there'll be another player that does outperform what you're saying there. And I don't think that is a far stretch at all to say that. I think that with Nicholas Jackson, one of the main criticisms he obviously got, all right, maybe not main criticism, a little bit hot-headed at times, a little bit rash at times. At the same time, the main criticism was around his finishing, right? But I never looked at Nicholas Jackson and thought that was his strength, and therefore I wouldn't say it should be the main criticism. His strength, right, and this is why, from the left-hand side, even from a little bit deeper behind the striker in somewhat of a 10 role, I think that his reading of the game, his vision, and his intelligence when he plays balls through is something that actually a lot of non-Chelsea fans probably have never given him credit for.
Massively. He's been so good at that.
Yeah.
And I think his game intelligence in that situation, that link-up play, people forget about it. Him and Cole Palmer, I think, wasn't they did like in that first season, they did like 20 goals
combined for about 20, 25 goals, I believe it was.
It's like, that's huge numbers. So why would you give that up? The whole point is, and we said this about João Pedro when he came in on the Chelsea Echo with me and Dan, we said, look, if you're letting Nicholas Jackson's numbers walk out the door, you need to guarantee that you're getting a return. We did with João Pedro, but then the other players you had available as deputies didn't fill that void. So let's learn that lesson. We've now got someone who can do that and fill that void, and we've got that guarantee there as well because he's done it for 2 years.
Yep.
That's for me is like if you can have that, that is the most intelligent thing that we can do there. And I will say, credit where it's due, we have been seemingly far more intelligent in the market this summer. So I hope it continues. I hope we get everything we need and hope it allows us to propel ourselves to where we can potentially be.
Do you know what? I would be more confident in terms of hoping. I very much feel that all those things are going to come through this season. I think that I'm always confident heading into a campaign until I have the confidence beat out of me, and so far it hasn't yet happened. I'm absolutely buzzing for this new season. I think that there's so much to be excited about. One thing that you can be excited about, there's going to be a lot of content coming out off of the channel, as there will be your channel, mate. I will link it in the description. Thank you very much for joining me once again today. I will be trying to drop a video pretty soon after tomorrow's game, but let's be honest, I'm out celebrating my birthday this weekend, probably going to have a few beers, so we might have to wait until Sunday. It's only pre-season anyway, don't worry about it. Right, people, thank you all very much, and we will see you all in the next one.